Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about 0 degrees of Leo, and yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Well, first off, I want to talk about as far as 0 degrees of Leo. Start off with start with the appearance on this, the countenance, the complexion. Now, this is more, of course, for the sun and the ascendant because I see the sun and the ascendant are more correlates with the appearance more than the moon, a lot more than the moon, I would say. I really don't. I'm not really convinced that the moon plays a dominant role in one's appearance. I think it's more subconscious mannerism. There's certain personality characteristics a person may have that corresponds with their moon sign, and it's our basically how we react a lot. It's responsive. But as far as um, the appearance, I really don't see the moon much as far as the appearance, but I know there's some people out there that think it might play a dominant role. But anyway, as far as the appearance goes, it could be according to the round. I don't know if many of you've read that book, The Round Art. It's like the astrology of time and space. It was written by renowned astrologer A.T. Mann. I don't remember the exact words on it, but basically what he describes is a certain appearance for every 5 degrees of the zodiac. And so for the first 5 degrees of Leo, he had it something like basically what he described seemed, if I remember, kind of a stout, stocky build, shorter in stature, dark hair. The hair could be curly, and also being very being able to extemporize in speech. I believe it said something like nimble tongue, but but that's as far as me reiterating the description for it as far as the appearance, because 0 degrees Leo, of course, falls within that 0 to 5 degrees Leo that he had for the appearance. I find it very accurate, actually. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about as far as personality, as far as Sabian symbols go, the description for 0 degrees Leo, well, this could be a person that could be very philanthropic, very magnanimous, nature, perhaps more so than the average Leo degree. And it could also be a person that has a strong desire, really, to guide and to lead, in contrast to being in a subordinate or subservient position. Now, 0 degrees, I would say 0 to 1 degrees in astrology can be about fixity and permanency. Like once, I mean, if you have like you have this degree with a certain Leo like profession, there's less propensity to deviate from that course of action. Let's say, I mean, you're like a cardiologist or a life coach, a motivational guru, a speaker, product demonstrator, working with children, somebody that is an actor, an actress, or an entertainer. You're in a Leo-like position, especially a game designer, whether it might be a board or a video game designer. There could be a less propensity to deviate from that, and it's really once you start, I mean, 0 to 1 degrees again could be I call very fixed type degree. It's about initiation and and the fact that it's fixed energy, and something at 0 to 1 degrees and a fixed sign can be one person that initiates. What is initiated may often stay and be enduring. Basically, is how that I think can manifest and pan out, and this will be no exception, being at 0 degrees Leo. Now, another thing too is that when you look at, and especially say if you have the sun or moon in Leo at this degree and it falls, say, in the second, sixth, or 10th house, which would be considered a money or monetary house, or one of the career houses, basically the job work houses. Now, I'm going off a little bit on a Gemini moon tangent here, but I have Aquarius MC. It's on, I know it's not the sun, moon, or ascendant, but I have 1 degree Aquarius on my MC, and I've been doing astrology for a very long time. And again, 0 to 1 degrees can be an indicator of fixity, permanence, something that once is something enduring, something that is once started, does not uh, does not end. And ever since I was 12 years old, I've been enamored and infatuated with astrology. So it's either been being a student, a fan, an astrologer for nearly 40 years, So, and having, of course, that public image, that reputation of that, given that it's the MC and you're talking about the, the career, and it can be, how really basically, really as far as how you stand out and how people might remember you to some degree. So the thing about this too, when you're talking about 0 degrees in astrology, it can suggest a little procrastination and hesitation. It can be this could be a person that might embark on a number of endeavors, and it could be without really procrastinating, without waiting around, without stalling. And of course, you're talking about Leo energy done with a lot of ferocity and really strong energy and vitality. Leo energy, of course, could be nearly inexorable and indefatigable. And you're talking about a person that likely will start and really things and not really ponder a lot about it prior to doing it. They would rather be more about action as opposed to words. Now, and also, too, this is a person, I mean, all Leo degrees can be about this. The zodiac sign Leo can be very enamored, of course, with being praised and lauded for their accomplishments, but it could be more emphasized and pronounced with this degree. And in some cases, it could denote an ability for politics as well. And another thing is that on a negative side, if makes predominantly negative aspects, a number of negative adverse aspects in one's chart, it might be a person that might be able, that might actually obtain things that ultimately might be to one's detriment. It might be a person that needs to get this just to have it, just so they can boast they have it, but it might be something that they find out later that it's not necessarily what they actually needed. It wasn't something that is necessarily beneficial to him or her. It could also be a person, if this is strongly say if this is really strongly very adversely affected, this degree, this could be a person in very negative manifestation that might romp over others in order to attain their own wants and be very domineering, getting others to do their dirty work, so to speak. I mean, if this makes an adverse aspect to one's Pluto, one's chart, it could be somebody that might be on a very strong power trip and wants to control and manipulate others to do just to do whatever for them. And because of this, of course, if you're getting others to do things for you, it indicates that it could be greater stagnation, and it could be on a karmic level, person might incline toward more obesity and being rotund and excessive weight gain. But that again is in a very negative manifestation, of course, is what I'm describing. So, and another thing too, so it's interesting that some of you may know this, some may not, that every degree in astrology apparently is according to something on Astrology Weekly website blog, that every degree in astrology of the 360 degrees, every degree corresponds or correlates with a specific body part. And the thing about this is the left coronary artery. So I would say that means that could be a very sensitive area anatomically for Leo. Now, Leo can, any degree of Leo, of course, can have greater sensitivity and susceptibility to heart attack, stroke, issues with the upper back, of course, things that are coronary in general. But this could be very sensitive in contrast to the other Leo degrees. Now, another thing too is that looking at this again and going back to the one last thing is that permanency, 0 degrees Leo could be something, or this person could be someone in the circus or entertainment or cardiologist, a life or motivational coach, or somebody in sports, something where they're getting some kind of strong attention, where they're going to be lauded and receive some kind of public acclaim and accolades. Once this starts, it may likely not be finished. It could be the person that simply does a lot of YouTube videos and exhibits very strong extroverted traits as a result. So or I should say, not, they're exhibiting extroverted traits by doing so, I should say. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.